barely making it out of the tutorial and proceeding to fail the first couple of missions thanks to me being no more competent at controlling this hulking mech. I was instead just desperately fighting to clear the debt I'd accrued incredibly early on, an endeavour that my first time round ultimately proved futile. See, outside of a few key missions, Armoured Core doesn't end when you fail. Said sortie selected from a menu is but one event in this all-encompassing war between the corporations Chrome and Murakumo Millennium. You got hired to do a job, you failed, and that job is likely gone now. On the plus side, you didn't die, you can still go back to that job board, but you now have to contend with the fact that your machine isn't going to pay for itself. That job was an opportunity to make money, and instead it sent you into the red. In Armoured Core, failure doesn't come cheap. The game allows you to sell parts to make money, but of course missions still require a full functioning mech to enter a sortie with. So until you can crawl back out of the red, you're stuck with what you've got. And so there you are, breathlessly awaiting your winnings, and through the medium of a cold, silent stat screen, you find that successfully completing the mission actually cost you money. And while you're so focused on just trying to get your head above water for even a second, you maybe gloss over the fact that every job you take on, every sortie through pitch black, grotty sewers, and cities seemingly devoid of humanity, often directly at cross purposes for competing corporate interests, with each party telling you, we're not the bad guy, it's the other guy doing the exact same thing as us that's the bad guy. You know, your jobs seem to exclusively involve eliminating labourers expressing disdain for their abhorrent conditions at the hands of your paymasters. Said overlords stating pretty starkly that this could harm their public image, and so people need to die. But you don't care, a job's a job. What else is there to do here? What life is there but one enveloped by violence, by debt, by the need to just get by, to get through one more job, to stave off debt for one moment longer, despite the fact you know you'll never shake it. See, being broke, as it turns out, is pretty taxing. Fiscally, physically, spiritually. It often feels like there's no way out. And as we can see through real-life governments capitalizing on things like petrol and food shortages, using a crackdown on strike action as a means of reducing everyone's human rights and increasing their control over populations, you know, times are tough and confusing and we're the only ones that can steer you through it, well somehow, coincidentally, companies are able to make record profits off of human misery, and despite its heightened sci-fi setting, there's something that feels, if not completely true to life per se. I think we're at least a few weeks off of mech mercenary becoming a viable career path, remarkably comprehensive, dare I say relatable, about the dystopia at the core